Hi there, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. So, I am doing a Canadian album review out of the normal sequence. If you're one of my regular viewers, you know that I usually do it every 10 albums. This one is coming up is going to be album 200. So, I wanted to do something special for album 200. So, I am opting to do my Canadian album now, which is Nickelback, Feed the Machine. Now, eventually I was going to have to do Nickelback, folks. It was going to happen. I apologize. It's probably right away going to upset people just when they see Nickelback, but who knows? I'm going to get into this album right away. Let me start with I don't mind Nickelback. I'm not a Nickelback hater. I'm not a Nickelback fan per se. But I do enjoy Nickelback. Nickelback usually has 2 or 3 songs per album that I enjoy, and if I wanted, I could put together a mixed collection or a best of that would symbolize the Nickelback stuff I really want to listen to and Nickelback stuff I really enjoy. There's also all the commercial BS that I'm not huge on, and I would cut right out. The soft song stuff. I get why they do it, and they do it to basically stay commercially relevant. It's the same stuff that Bon Jovi did when grunge hit huge. The only way they stayed socially relevant was by releasing ballads compiled in with a bunch of stuff that no one else really cared about. I think Nickelback has done a little bit better of a job than that, but to me, Nickelback is basically the Bon Jovi of the hard rock industry. I take that back. I actually have a lot more respect for Nickelback than I do for Bon Jovi. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Okay. So, the album opens up with the title track, Feed the Machine. Now, right away, you know that this is a Nickelback album. It sounds familiar. Production wise, it sounds a little bit different. There is. Calling it Feed the Machine makes sense on a multitude of levels when you listen to this album. It makes sense calling this album Feed the Machine. And I really do think that this album, in its own way, is kind of a. This is their version of Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here, or Black Sabbath Sabotage, or I think this was really kind of a middle finger to the label saying, all right, well, we will release another one of our commercial products. It sounds like one of our products, but we're going to make sure it sounds different at the same time. And you get that impression right off the bat from Feed the Machine, because there's definitely elements to it that sound a lot heavier and a lot angrier than you normally would find on a Nickelback album. From there, we go into Coin for the Ferryman. Nickelback always has their party song, right? Every album has that one song. Well, not every album. Okay, so there's definitely usually a party song on most Nickelback albums. Coin for the Ferryman is definitely the party song for this album, the big anthem, pyro, kind of have fun song for this album. Lyrically, is it anything spectacular? No. Musically, is it anything spectacular? No. Is it a really fun song? Absolutely. It is a good arena rock song, man. I go see them live. I want to hear this song live. I think it would be a great song live. Absolutely. Great showmanship can come out of that song. And that goes into Song on Fire. Song on Fire is this album's ballad. I'm sounds like every other damn Nickelback ballad. It really does, okay? So let's be very clear. I can't sugarcoat it any other way. If you've heard a Nickelback ballad, it sounds like this. From there, we go into Must Be Nice. I enjoy Must Be Nice. A little more edge to it, little give or take. Not too bad. Nothing great either. After the Rain, at this point, I've kind of. It sounds like a Nickelback album. You know, like that's what you're hearing. It sounds like a Nickelback album. Now, the production and some of the other elements to it, there's a lot more instrumentation in this, subtle instrumentation. The drums are definitely a little more complex than usual with Nickelback. There's definitely, I feel, a digital element a little more in there. It could just be part of the production that makes it sound that way, but it definitely sounds like there's a little more digital element to that. When we get to For the River, I like For the River, but at the same time, it's one of those songs where if I'm not listening to the album, I'm not paying attention to it. It's not what I'm going to think of. Then we go into Home. I really dig Home. My complaint, though, is Home had some possibilities to go somewhere a little bit different, and I think they changed it at the last second. The way the buildup is at the beginning, the sound of it at the beginning, the way that they're playing it up instrumentally at the beginning, it felt like it had more potential to go a little 3 Days Grace, a little more thicker, heavier, deeper musically, like sound-wise. But they kind of pull back a little bit and go a little more to their roots where it's a little bit softer, a little more what you expect. Either way, though, really good song, really enjoyable. Then you get to The Betrayal, Act 3. I don't like it. But I don't like it because it's a little too angry for me. Like the music, a lot blast beaty. That and it's not blast beats that are being used in there, but that's the best way I know how to put it. Very angry, very aggressive for Nickelback, and definitely something you do not hear Nickelback ever really do, which is really cool. If you want to hear Nickelback do something, it's great. You get to hear Nickelback do something different, something they don't normally do. Really cool. I just, not my thing, not into it, not the song I want to hear off here. After that, we get into Silent Majority. Silent Majority is another very cliche Nickelback song, and that "Let's Make the World a Better Place" kind of thing, which I like. When they first did it, the very first time they did that kind of "Let's Make the World a Better Place" kind of song, it was really cool. I enjoyed it until it got overplayed to death, and then they did one on like every album. So it's part of the let's appease the record company kind of thing on here. Then we go to Every Time We're Together, which is, I'll be honest, I'm totally blanking on it right now, so that tells you really where that song is in the grand spectrum of Nickelback. And it's followed by The Betrayal, Act 1. I like that they put Act 1 after Act 3, and so much later in the album. I am wondering what happened to Act 2. I'm not sure if the songs in between are supposed to be part of Act 2, and you're supposed to get that. I don't know. But the Betrayal Act 1 is this beautiful instrumental piece. I mean, it is really, really, really good as this instrumental. And I've never heard Nickelback pull out an instrumental before, at least not that I can recall off the top of my head. And this was really good, and I really liked what they did with it. I think this album, once again, is a giant middle finger to the record company because, yeah, they released... On one hand, this is definitely a commercially safe album for Nickelback to release because it will appeal to the fan base. But at the same time, it's got a lot of tongue-in-cheek in there in the lyrics and whatnot, or the content or whatnot, where you can kind of tell like they're a little pissed off. They want to be able to grow more than they're being allowed, we'll say. And there is definitely some growth on this album. Like I said, the Betrayal Act 1, that in its own is telling me there's some growth because the instrumental on that is just, it's wonderful. I enjoy it very much. And I've actually put it into a couple mixes. I think there is still potential for Nickelback to release better albums. For Nickelback to release more solid albums, to explore a little bit more, to do some better stuff. I really think that the opportunity is out there for Nickelback to do that, but I really think that they need to find a label that will actually let them do something that might fail. And by might fail, I mean, it might not achieve the same success that prior albums have achieved. They've got to be allowed to grow. They've got to be allowed to experiment a little bit. And I really think that this album is them being pissed off over not being allowed to do that. Anyways, those are my views. Those are my thoughts. Those are my takes on this album. Give me your thoughts and your views. That's what the comment section is for. I definitely be interested. I know there's a lot of Nickelback haters out there. So, if you want to go ahead and hate away, go ahead and hate away. You're not going to hurt my feelings. It is what it is. Otherwise, folks, if you can hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That subscribe button is really important for me these days because it helps not only increase visibility, but there's certain things that it unlocks. YouTube achievements it unlocks, So I want to be able to do some live streaming. I can't do that unless I unlock enough by getting enough subscribers. So if you can hit that subscribe button, it'd be great. Otherwise, there is a Patreon link below if you want to contribute some money to me. That'd be cool. Peace, love, take care.